Alrighty, so we are back here with these showcases for obviously the Maid Mast. Quite the interesting character, because if I had to rank her right now, right, not as a tier, but like just the character overall, I'd probably say she's a pretty good support. Obviously, I did a damage comparison with her as a support for Scarlet with her maximum buffs, and then obviously Scarlet with Crown, and they were very similar, right? Because obviously Mast is giving Scarlet just more of a buff with the specific distributed damage that she does have. Today we're actually going to be using Mast with another one of her crewmates being favorite item Helm. Now the reason why this is going to be so crazy is because Helm already gives crit rate off for like just for normal attacks, which is fine, but the attack damage buff, and then obviously just the new crazy damage that Helm does herself is kind of what we're trying to see here. So we are doing the favorite item Helm and Mast showcase, so let's do it. So this is the team that I decided to run, right? Crown as well, because I want to flex between obviously a 40-second burst skill, which is Mast, and then I need another burst too. So I'm like, why not flex between Crown and Mast? Because with this composition specifically, not only are we getting buffed every full burst from Helm, but Helm's new favorite item effect allows her to proc Crown's continuous royal attire. That's what it's called. So we're gonna have a lot of buffs from this team. Now I don't even need to have freaking Red Hood Rappy on this team, but I just put her on this team because why not? Actually, I'm gonna put Litter on this team. We don't need to see more damage. We just want to have crazy buffs. Alright, so yeah, let's try this team. We should have some crazy numbers here from most likely like more Scarlet, because we are type advantage here as well. But obviously favorite item Helm is no joke. As you guys already know, if you haven't watched my favorite item Helm showcase, I'm gonna just say favorite Helm. If you haven't seen my favorite Helm showcase, go ahead and take a look. She is quite crazy. But yeah, her burst generation allows us to go crazy. First off, like her burst generation is one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game. Like 2 shots and you're fully charged up with Helm, right? This is, I wish I had that, right? If you wonder what that noise is, it's the cat. So we're at 5.9 million right now with Scarlet Black Shadow, right? Let's take a look and see what this ends up going to, right? I don't have mana on the team, which is what I wanted for like faster charge speed, but I couldn't fit her on the team with this composition. It was just impossible. To 133 million. And Helm is what? 17 million. Helm is actually going to use her burst skill here. As you guys see, we get our burst off very easily because of Helm. Helm has the new effect that just basically lets it that we get our burst skill like with 2 normal attacks, right? She's quite crazy. What is Helm out? Because I am kind of just curious to see. We don't have Helm's favorite item for her burst skill though. We only have her first and second skill. I don't think anybody has favorite item Helm's third skill, which is unfortunate. But we go from 20 million to because remember, Helm does good damage herself now, with especially with that second effect. She does some pretty good damage before even seeing what she does with her burst skill. 20 million to 39 million type, like not advantage, I'd say it's pretty good, especially considering we don't have her first skill. But you guys can kind of see it yourself. 180 million to what? 100. I just wish we had mana, but we can't fit her on the team here, right? It's impossible for me to fit mana on the team unless I run a like another burst one like D, for example, or even Rouge, that allows us to what's it called, like just kind of handle 40-second cooldown characters. But to, oh my, yeah, it's quite, I'm gonna try to fit in mana on this team. I'm gonna like take Crown off the team and then try to fit mana on the team and have Helm as like just a flex burst 3, right? So 379 million. And what are our stacks for Mast? Are we at 2 or 3? We're not even fully stacked. We're at 2 stacks right now for Mast, right? So we don't even have full buffs for Scarlet right here. But 378 million to, oh my god, 522 million. Again, that's not just like, that's a lot of buffs she has, right? Obviously we have the Pirate's Heart, we have the crit rate for Pirate's Heart, we have permanent royal attire because again, Helm, favorite item Helm is so good. Like that's like my next favorite item that I want, like easily the best favorite item. Well, not the best favorite item, but for me, it's easily my favorite item, right? Because let's see, even off of full burst, where we're not using her burst skill, 541 million to what? Like, what is Scarlet going to? With all the buffs she's getting right now, even though we're not using her burst skill, 500 and I forgot what the number was, but 500 something million to 564 million. So it wasn't that big of a jump. You got to use her burst skill for sure. But like, let's go into the next burst skill because I want to show you guys exactly what we are actually getting for. Okay, we didn't even get Mast burst skill off because she ended up getting stunned there, right? But we have what up? We have Royal Attire up. We have Last Kingdom up. Pirate's Heart, both of them. Double boost from Litter. Attack buff from Litter. Crit damage buff from Litter. Distributed damage, only 1 stack. The reload speed buff, only 1 stack. Fleeting, this is obviously Scarlet's effects right there. 115% attack for herself, by the way. Increased charge damage, 150%. Fireways Helm, 27% attack damage increase free. And then One for All, 64% attack buff up free because she ended up using her burst skill. 570 that's a lot of buffs. 576 million to what? We're not fully stacked here, by the way. We only have 1 stack of distributed damage as well. 576 million to 679 million. Wow. And that's not even fully stacked. That's 1 stack of Maid's buff, so it makes Scarlet crack. Like, sure, like that's the one thing though. There's not many characters in the game who have this quote-unquote distributed damage, at least to the extent that Scarlet has it. So it's like only Scarlet really benefits the most from being paired up with Mast. Hence why you guys only ever see me using her. Does Mast buff up a lot of other characters? Of course she does, because she does have like, but outside of outside of the distributed damage buff, all her other buffs, reload speed buff, attack crit rate, and then the attack damage, crit damage, attack buff, that's useful for every character in the game. But to make full use of this character, distributed damage is where we're gonna go. So I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to actually forget the mono composition right now. I'm gonna just try using Mast with a different DPS, right? Mast and Helm with a different DPS. That is not obviously Scarlet, because I only use Scarlet because, like I said, the only thing I don't like is that specifically right there where she gets stunned, and it's her burst rotation. But it's fine because again we have Scarlet we have Crown on the team, so it's like it's a good trade-off, right? We have Crown on the team. It's a very good trade-off in my opinion. It's not like we're losing much, right? We're not really losing much at all by not using her burst skill and using Crowns, because Crown is a crazy buffer herself. But yeah, we're gonna try Mast with a different DPS in a second here. I don't want to only use Scarlet because again she does buff up other characters. But what I'm seeing right now is crazy. We're gonna use her with Cinderella. Yeah, using her with Cinderella with the crit rate. Like the crit rate is, oh wow, we got you up there. But 1,082 million. Even Helm, 243 million without using your burst skill, like, or having the burst skill favorite item that gives her a crazy charge damage multiplier, and then also from like 1,000 to 8,000% damage. We lost a lot of damage from Helm just not having that last favorite item effect, you know what I mean? We lost a lot, but it doesn't change the fact, like, once we start seeing that burst skill favorite item Helm, you guys are gonna see how cracked Helm is. Honestly, you're gonna see how crazy she is as a character. But yeah, let me go into where we're type advantage. So water here. I don't want to really change up my guys team too much. I'm sorry. And also shout outs to Frames. I'm on Frames account right now. I'm on Frames account for this showcase, so shout outs to Frames, right? But we're gonna take Scarlet off. We're gonna keep you on, right? And then we're also going to again put the Mast on the team. Where is she? We're going to put Mast on the team, and then we're also going to put Crown on the team. So we can do it like this. And then the burst one could be, I mean, I could just have Rouge on the team, right? I can have Rouge on the team, kind of just put Rouge here and have it like this. I think that'll work actually. We can do that right there, and then we can see what that's looking like as well. So this is no distributed damage buff, which is good, because what that means is, the only thing is, I feel like with the distributed damage buff, if you're not having that, then I don't really see a point of using Mast. Now don't get me wrong, Mast is great, her supports are great, her burst skill is great, don't get me wrong, but my thing is, there's going to be a lot of times where she's stunned during her burst rotation, right? And it's like, if you're going to be stunned during her burst rotation here and there, what is the point of... I guess that's why she's a 40-second cooldown character, actually. I want to say they actually... What the hell? I didn't even get to see the... Wait, that's with Mast buff, though. That's with Mast, Rouge, Crown, Helm. 134. Wow, that's just as much as Scarlet was doing with distributed damage as well. But obviously we know freaking Cinderella hits harder than Scarlet. Like, we know that. So yeah, that's not something we didn't already know, right? Oh my god, the heals from Helm on her burst skill. Oh, that's not even buffed as well, by the way. But let me take a look at something. So right now, 204 million. If you don't know what we have all these buffs. Fire Away, which is Helm, One for All, which is Crown, Flawless Glass, which is Cinderella herself, Pirate Spirit, which is, it's only reload. We don't really care about Pirate Spirit. Like, Pirate Spirit doesn't really matter for Cinderella. Distributed damage doesn't matter. The reload speed, sure, but distributed damage does not matter for Cinderella right here. The Pirate's Romance, though, 51% attack buff is crazy. Attack damage buff 12 basically 13% from a Pirate's Romance. Crit damage buff by 34%. Attack buff by 12% for Game Master from Rouge. Obviously our HP being increased from Rouge helps out Cinderella as well. A Pirate's Heart 30 point. Oh my god, like, crit rate, there's so much. Let me see. 204 million to what, please? Like, look at all these crits. She's crit, like, look at these crits. Look at these crits. Excuse me? 204 million to what? Oh my god. 204 billion to damn near 400 million. Like, what are we talking about? What the hell? Like, what are we talking about? 204 million. Mind you, we're not fully stacked. We have to be fully stacked up on this effect right here to get more of an attack buff from this, right? Remember, on Mast's burst skill, the attack buff is multiplied by the stacks. So if we have 1 stack, then that's what we're just getting for 1 stack. But yeah, when we're fully stacked up, you guys are gonna see how crazy this is. The crit, we're getting crits off like crazy though. Look at those crits. Look at those crits for those normals, right? We're at 470 million to what? Look at the crits. And then again, like, the crits are so much. The crits are so much. 470 million to 34 million. Like, what? I'm sorry, but what? And now this time we're fully stacked up here now, but the problem is we didn't get her burst skill off. Like, we don't have massive burst skill off when we're fully stacked there, especially now while we're using things burst skill. But yeah, that's unfortunate. She's gonna get stunned now. Yeah. This will be 1. Okay, actually no, that's good, because by the next time we get Mast's third buff, when we get her 3rd stack for her hit rate, we should be back on Cinderella's burst skill. Not only that, we should actually be back on Mast's burst skill as well. So that's pretty good. I want to see what that's gonna look like. Fully stacked, we will be, because now we're gonna use Crown's burst. Oh, I guess we use Mast right now. Alright, Rouge lowers cooldown. Like, I'm like, what? Rouge lowers cooldown of CDR, just CDR. A crazy one too. Oh my god. Cinderella is something else, eh? Like, I'm not even trying to, like, troll. But Cinderella, because now we're at 3 stacks, and again, we're not using our burst skill. Okay, I'm just gonna have to redo this. But like, kind of, no, I don't even need to. Like, the damage is this crazy, but we already know Cinderella's broken. Like, Cinderella's damage is just not fair in today's age. Way too much buffs. I just don't like the fact that when we have full stacks, we're not getting her burst skill off for Cinderella, right? It's like, but the thing is, if I put Crown first, I guess I'll just come off auto. I'll come off auto, and then I will just do it like that. Like, I'll just manually do it, because it's just silly, right? So boom, and then boom, and then boom, right? And what are we at right now? Are we at 2 stacks? Perfect, we're at 2 stacks. So the next burst rotation, we're gonna be at 3 stacks. And shoutouts to freaking oh, but I think I ended up using Cinderella's burst skill again. It's fine actually, because we have Rouge on the team, should be helpful. Rouge, boom. We're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get it off. But what? What is the damage? What is the damage? Like, what is damage? Like 1.4 billion. No, wait, we're gonna go back in there real quick, but I just want to see fully stacked up. Like Mast buff, Cinderella burst skill when Mast is fully stacked up. So I'm on auto. All I have to do is use Helm's burst skill first. That just seems like what has to happen. I just need to use Helm's burst skill first, because if I don't, then thing. And then same thing as Mast, I guess. So boom, boom, and then Helm, right? That way when we have it fully on, is it gonna be like that? No, because then when we, I messed up. It's supposed to be Cinderella first. Yeah, we're just not gonna use Mast burst skill until like the third one. We're just gonna keep using Crown. I know what to do. So we're gonna go ahead, boom, and then one. Why is it on auto? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Wait, but yeah, by the time we get to the third burst skill, we should be on Mast again. So I'm so confused on why we're not usually. 1, 2, and then 3. Yeah, and now what are we at? We're at 2 stacks. So the next burst rotation, we should have Cinderella and fully stacked up on Mast. So why was it not working before like that? What happened there? Am I confused? I might be a bit confused, y'all, but look at her damage. Okay, well, obviously. So now 1, 2, and then 3. So what are we at? 202 million. We are fully stacked up right now. 202 million to what? Sorry, to what? 202 million to what? To 383 million. Yeah, Mast is crazy, y'all. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Mast is good. She's just like, it's, you could use her outside. Like, obviously you don't have to use her with Scarlet, but I just feel like it's pointless to use her because she's gonna buff up Scarlet the entire time, where you're only gonna be getting buffs for like all these other DPSs when you're using her burst skill. And to, like, genuinely my logic is, what is the point? I mean, you're gonna guaranteed have the crit rate and the attack buff, sure, which is helpful, but my logic is like, what's the point of using Mast as like a burst 2 character with Crown with these other DPSs when I could just put Mast on the same team as Scarlet and Mana. Scarlet, Mana, Mast, and then probably Anchor whenever she comes out, because Anchor's gonna also be a buff to Scarlet, and then you just have your burst 1 probably being Red Hood Rapier later, right? That could be a team right there, and then you just leave Crown for other teams, right? Literally Mast, Mana, not Mast, yeah, Mast, Mana, Scarlet, Anchor, Red Hood or Litter, and then that's one full team, and then you put Crown with Helm or whoever you want on a whole nother team. That's my logic behind it. But you guys let me know what you think. Do you think this is crazy or not? Your boys Zxous, I'm out. Peace.